Welcome to NC-17. My name is Josh, and today with us, we have the Empress of Motor City Nightmares and Rocky Mountain Nightmares, Miss Tommy Brunswick. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good today. Really good.
That's good. So let's get right into it. What was your youth growing up, and how did you get into the love of film and stuff like that?
Oh, well, I grew up of course, in Michigan with everybody else there. And I lived in Livonia and Dearborn and then back to Livonia, but my parents couldn't afford to go on vacation ever. So our vacations were like twice a week we'd go to the movies because it was like $2 to go to the movies back then. So my parents' favorite was always horror, but we saw everything. And back then in the day, this is aging me, movies weren't all in one theater. You had to go to all the different theaters, Maikai Terrace, Quo Vadis, all the different places. So that was my beginning of the love of it. And then when I was I don't know, I think I was 12 or 13 when the Evil Dead was being shot up north. And in the Observer, they had a big spread on all this stuff and how they did the effects and that. And I was like, and then my dad told me, he said, well, you can't be a director because you're a girl or whatever, And I said, oh, okay. And then we went and saw a movie called Humanoids from the Deep, which is a Roger Corman movie. And it comes up, boo, the director's name, Barbara Peterson. I looked at my dad, and that is not a guy.
Oh, yeah.
So from then on, it was just, piece by piece. When I went to school, and then I bought a book. Actually, my ex-husband, which I wouldn't want to talk about, but he bought me a book for my birthday called Filmmakers from the Fringe by Maitland McDonough. And in there is all of the beginning on how every B-movie horror person got started, from Sam Raimi to Wes Craven to Sean Cunningham to everybody, like Joe Wine, all of the horror people. And I was reading it, and I read Sean Cunningham's Friday the 13th, how he got started. And I said, well, shit, I can do that. Come up with a great title and then pitch it and then get it financed and then just make it whatever. So the title was Biker Zombies from Detroit. And that was like, that's a cool title. Movie, not as good. Fun drinking part movie. But when it came out in video stores, it was right next to Black Hawk Down. And it was so hard to rent because everybody wanted the movie because of the title.
Oh,
so yeah. I know it's kind of lengthy, but that's kind of how I got started.
It's all good. So about the convention scene and everything like that, when did you have the idea that that's the route you wanted to go?
Okay, so we're making movies, they get distributed, but local people never really saw them. We'd have premieres and they would be okay attended and stuff. And then I started going down to Cinema Wasteland.
Oh, yeah.
And became friends with Ken and Pam. And when I started the show, I started modeling it after theirs because theirs is very solid. It's a good show. I love their show. It's fun. And they're great people. They're always at our show too. So they're always there every year. So that's kind of how I got started, just doing that. And then I just built different things upon that after a while. So that's how. And because I wanted people to see my movie, so they'd have to, with the film festival, they had to sit in the seats. They didn't have a choice. I had to show my movies in between the film festival movies.
I mean, that works out. You also have one of your kids. He's always there with you.
My youngest is with me, and my oldest, she lives out here too in Koreatown.
Oh, okay.
And then my two other ones still live in Michigan.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I know that, going into the convention scene with the strike going on this year, was that difficult?
Going into it wasn't, but when everyone got there, like the day before, it was very difficult because there were so many different rules and people were confused and everything. Hi. and
then Lisa, my co-host.
Hi, Lisa. How you doing? Good. I love the poster. Kira's my first movie I saw. Manga, whatever. One of those first anime movies I've ever saw. So sorry, what was I was saying about going into the strike? So a lot of the actors were really worried about it, so we had to rearrange everything the day before. Like everything was like thrown out the window and restarted. The only a couple people weren't really worried about it. Bruce Campbell wasn't worried and Clint Howard wasn't worried, but they don't have to worry.
Yeah.
They're not gonna get kicked out of Hollywood, you know.
Right.
But other people were really worried, so we abided by what every separate celebrity wanted.
Okay.
That's what we did.
Oh yeah. Motor City Nightmares is also not just about like, you know, the celebrities, but it's also about the vendors. You have some of the best vendors that come to any convention. That's God's honest truth. Lisa being one of them.
Yeah, I love that con.
Yeah, I love the vendors. I love them. I love the art, all of the different stuff that people
So
bring
great,
to
yeah.
it is what's amazing. Because you know, you can go to a comic book store and buy all different, you know, that stuff anywhere, but you can't get the stuff that you get at the shows anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can we also talk about the volunteers? Because all the years I've gone, I've seen the same volunteers. It's like a family, you know.
Yeah.
And I've actually become very good friends with Dan Baldwin, who's
Yeah.
probably one of the coolest dudes I've met in my entire life. So,
My mustache guy.
do you like every year? Do they, when you send out for the volunteers, is it just the same people, or do you ever get new people? And how's that go?
Well, I have a solid crew. Some of my crew have been with me since I was making movies. So they've been making movies and now the shows and everything with me. But I have a solid crew, probably about 7 or 8 of us, including Dan Baldwin and, you know, Josie and Dan Brown and Bree. I don't want to miss anyone else. So if I forgot you, I'm sorry. But we work almost year round. I am in contact with them because as soon as the show ends, I start the next one. And now with Rocky Mountain, I have to make sure that we make room for all of them because I fly them all, the main crew, out to my show so that they can produce it with me. But every year there's new volunteers because Josie puts out a like an application for people to want to volunteer. So we have a lot like the same ones and different ones. Sometimes it depends because a lot of the volunteers work on a lot of different shows. So it just depends on what weekend they can do it. You know, they're, you know, anything like that. But a lot of people just get excited and they want to sign up. So that's why you'll see a lot of the same.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like a family.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Rocky Mountain Nightmares, was that something you've always thought of as like going into different states, or was it just something that kind of over time kind of organically grew?
I never thought that I could do a big shows on my own other than Motor City Nightmares. So I had a partner that came in and said, oh, she's going to give the money or whatever. But what happened is she didn't. And we had to part ways. But I was able to create Rocky Mountain Nightmares basically from almost nothing because of all of my contacts and everything already. Yeah. So that was when I realized that, yes, I can do other shows. And then I was approached by V. Neal for doing a show for her based on vampires. So we're going to, in 2025, we're going to do a big V. Neal's vampire weekend. So that, and I do now plan to go into a couple different cities. I went and I met with the Days of the Dead Bill Philpott guy because I said I don't want to step on your toes because you're going everywhere, you know. So let's try to figure this out. So, you know, he's a really good guy. He's a good guy. So I like to talk to other convention owners because if I'm going close to their territory, I want to either work out where we can work together or, you know, go somewhere a little further. You know, I don't like to battle if I don't have to, but I will if I have to.
Oh yeah. Lisa, you got any questions?
No, I mean, I was interested to see what kind of stuff Tommy was gonna have to say about the con because I mean, yeah, Motor City Nightmares is always just a blast. I always look forward to it every year.
Good. And I'm glad I was able to keep it after COVID because during COVID it was so scary.
I missed it so much.
Oh, me too, because it's, you know, that's what I do year round, you know, so it gets really scary. But no, I love it. And I love the people that love it because that is some of my greatest joy when people come up to me and tell me, oh my God, I was able to cross this off my bucket list, or da, 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 you know,
Yeah.
excited, you know, that brings me a lot of joy, you know.
And again, the fact that it's in the summer is just, it's such a thrill for everyone.
Well, I don't want to fight with haunted houses because haunted houses are so big, you know, and I try not to do it too close to other conventions, but you know, that's why I was from April, and then after COVID, I established in July because I live in Los Angeles now, and my son goes to school, so I wanted it during a time where we could spend some time in Michigan.
Okay, yeah.
Little Birdie says that you directed your first movie or in a process of doing so.
Me?
Yeah. Someone said you made a movie, or you're involved with the making.
You didn't look me up, did you? I made almost 13 movies.
Oh, no. A new one is what I'm saying.
Oh, a new movie? I do have my mom passed in December, and I was planning on doing Slaughter Sisters movie, which is the Slaughter Sisters are two characters from my TV show Whitman's Goblin, and they are two hunters, like supernatural hunters. But what you don't know about them until you get to see the movie is that they're actually berserkers, which berserkers, there's not a lot of myth on them. So I'm creating, like, I'm getting as much history I can on them so that I can create them, so that when I have them like change and form, I will still want them to be pretty, but still scary, you know. So I'm trying to create kind of a new thing so I can have, you know, some cool action figures.
Yeah.
But so I'm back to working on them. I don't, on my Facebook page, as you could probably see some pictures recently. I went to her name's Jessica Carter, her birthday party. Her and Kitty are my Slaughter Sisters. Yes. They're the girls that do it. And then they've been training and doing all kinds of stuff so they can do some of their own stunts and everything. So it's going to be a small budget, but it is an introduction to the TV series that I want to, you know, because I'm still shopping it around. So I figure if I can make a small movie for very cheap, I can put it in the, you know, by the show Bible or whatever they call it, you know.
Oh yeah. I feel like an idiot saying you're making a movie. I should have said it.
Don't feel like an idiot. I'm just giving you a hard time.
But through your convention, Motor City Nightmares, like, I've met some of the nicest people, some of the coolest people. I have to say though, like, because I go to a lot of conventions, but out of all of them, Motor City Nightmares is the best one, and I'm not just saying that. I say that to everybody. And like, we're there every weekend, or every year for the whole weekend. So
yeah, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I wish one year I can go to my show, because for me it's like a blur. You know?
Yeah. I always feel so bad
running or doing announcements or whatever they're doing, you know? Oh
yeah.
So one year I'm gonna get a mask and I'm gonna walk around so no one will bother me to do something. So that's what my son said. He said, when I get old enough, Mom, you wear a mask and you can go all weekend.
Well, yeah, that would be cool. But this past, like in July, you were running around a lot. Like, we see your hands on everything, which is awesome, because it just shows that not only do you want to put on a good show, but you want to give the fans what they want.
Yes. You know? In addition to the respect to the celebrities, because it's a balancing act, you know. So it's a good, but this show was much larger than I expected it to be. So that's why I was running so much, because I didn't want too much, because I knew something's going to fall through the cracks, but I didn't want too much too. So that's why you just saw me running. You see a blur of rainbow, right?
So let me ask, has there been a celebrity that you wanted to get, but you haven't yet been able to get?
Oh my God. Want to start the list? Okay. Well, I've had a lot of the big ones. I was able to get Toby Hooper. He was my very first, at my first show, because George Romero had to cancel. Clive Barker, Sean Cunningham, and of course George Romero. And there's always the big ones. I was offered Sam Raimi, but it's very high, and you know, his schedule is very tight. So when it was with Bruce Campbell, I was going to bring him out, but I know Bruce just overshadows everyone, including Sam Raimi. I mean, it's crazy, but there's people like, I would love to get John Carpenter. I would love to have Robert Englund and Lance Henriksen. And Just if anyone knows their agent, he won't call me back. His name's Stephen Lowe. Tell just so I can get Robert Englund and Lance Henriksen in there, because I would love to bring like a whole Aliens cast or something, Pumpkinhead people, that would be awesome, So I mean, I'm a huge fangirl. That's part of the reason I'll bring people for the fans, and then I'll bring someone for me,
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually, I have a bucket list of people that I wanted to meet, and you actually had one there this year, and that's Felicia Rose.
Oh, but she's what, in fact, she said, "Hey, can I come back every year like Dee Wallace does?" But you bring in the lines like you did, I will bring you back every year. Actually, she lives pretty close. We see each other a lot, just at different shows. We're always supposed to meet up for coffee, but the only time we end up seeing each other is at a show in another state.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she is amazing, because she has a few movies, but the people that come out to see her, it's just there's something about her that is magical, because there's so many other people that were really great and great movies, all these things, but her line, boom, so long. And it's got to be her. There's something about her that people just love. Because when I get so happy when you're around her, because she's so such a cool person.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about where you wanted to go. I know you're here and you're got Rocky Mountain. Is there a key state that you really want to do the convention in if you get the chance?
I want to bring it to states that don't have a lot, because then I don't have to compete against a lot. And then the fans are so excited because they've never had anything there like that. And a lot of them are first time convention goers and things like that. That's part of the reason why I picked Denver, because they don't have a big horror convention. They do have Colorado Festival of Horror, and they're growing. So I'm working with them. We trade tables. I was at their last show. So theirs is in September, mine's in May. So we support each other, so something like that, something that has maybe a small show ready to grow, or that they just don't have a solid show there locally. But I don't really want to try to muscle in on what someone else has. So just because that's too much work.
Oh yeah.
Make it easy.
Oh yeah. One thing I did want to mention is so my wife, she's not a big horror fan, but she loves Motor City Nightmares.
Oh, awesome.
every time we've gone, she's bought numerous books, numerous movies, numerous just different things. But we've gone to other conventions, and it's we both agree that Motor City Nightmares just seems more intimate. And
Dee Wallace calls it our family barbecue.
I would agree with that. Yeah. So let's talk about your film festival at Motor City Nightmares. What goes into that, and does it have to be a specific amount of time, and how's that work?
The film festival is tough because my film festival directors are kind of like drummers from Spinal Tap.
Oh.
They don't actually blow up, but I go through them pretty fast. It's kind of hard to find them because it is a daunting task to watch all the movies, read all of the scripts, I stopped accepting scripts this past year just because I would get so many of them that reading them was so tough, because they're they're mostly features. But the film festival is so important to me because the show was made to focus on filmmakers. Yeah. So in the beginning, I'd have a lot of screenwriting little extra things you could go to, panels and things like that. I haven't brought it back since COVID. I'm slowly trying to integrate all of that again, because that's my love, is filmmaking. So I love new filmmakers. I want to have a place for them, because I knew I didn't have much of a place. My film festival isn't as showy as other film festivals are, because it's got a convention connected to it. So you have to balance it, because everyone's not there just for the movies, So it's not as strong as I'd like it, but I can't put on two shows. It's too much for two. but I love it because the filmmakers that do make it into the film festival are very excited. We get people coming from all over the world to come and see the movies. And I try to connect them with each other. So like there's a couple filmmakers, one from Ireland and Texas one year, and they decided, oh, I need some Longhorn footage and they need some Green Hill footage. So they decided to shoot each other's stuff and swap, so like things like that, bringing filmmakers together, or even crew people, like the special effects people, or, whoever, everyone together to work on stuff. That's exciting to me. One of the things that I like to do is connect people. So that's just a selfish thing for me. And then I get to meet a lot of them, but I have recently gotten contacted by Blumhouse and Fangoria about two of the people being judges for the show, because they want to see first the horror movies before anyone else. So if they want to pick them up and stuff. So that's exciting, because if I could give that to someone, not that it's for sure yet, but they have contacted me about it. So I do love it. I just I'm not really solid on doing like film festivals because I'm so used to the convention stuff. So I am looking for like a festival director that can pull all of it together and, do it. It's not really hard, but it is very time consuming.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's tedious and time consuming.
Oh,
That's why I do it, because just like a restaurant, the owner of the restaurant, you know who it is, because they're the ones sweeping the floor and cleaning up all the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because they care the most,
Oh, yeah. So here's a question so have you ever had a guest that was supposed to have been there and like very last second canceled? And if so, did you have a backup, or did you just kind of work around it?
There's no set amount of people you need there.
Yeah.
So there's never a backup. If they can't come, they can't come. But then I'll get inundated by other agents that say, I have this person, you want to put this person in, you want to put this, So one of the worst things that happened to me, the very first show, George Romero canceled 5 days before the show because he had to go make, is it Land of the Dead, one of the Dead movies. And it was 2008. So whatever movie he was making at that time. So it was so scary because they gave me Tobe Hooper, but I had never done a convention. He hadn't done one in so many years. I didn't know where to advertise it. So it wasn't as successful as it could have been. It was tough. But the way you make something successful is you make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And that is what I'm good for. But at least I know how to change once I know the mistake, So it does affect it, but it doesn't matter if I don't replace them or not. You know what I mean? That's why there's no refunds on tickets, because it's just like a live event. If some guitarist in a band has to change out, and get your money back, or whatever,
Oh, yeah. I'm, in the early stages of you like starting out, your first year, your second year, your third year, every year every year passing, did it get easier, or does it just get harder?
Oh, it gets easier, definitely easier, because you bring people on like my crew, and they care about it almost as much as I do. And they always bring new stuff. And because they work other shows, they bring so much more to it. That's why I love, all of my volunteers. And like some shows I must not say their name, will not let my volunteers work at their shows, because if they work at my show, they don't want them at, you know what I mean? It's like really silly, because it's volunteers. They're not, what the heck, and for me, I think it just adds more to everything,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely, the boat will rise when the water rises, all boats go, and
Oh, yeah.
that's why I like to work. I work a lot with Astronomicon.
Yes.
Especially when they first started, I helped give them as much stuff as I could. And, I get along really well with George and, Mike. They're good people. So hope they don't get too many horror clients. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys. You can hear me.
Uh,
Good
so,
show, though.
oh yeah, they actually do put on a good show too.
They
Yeah.
do. They do. Well, because they already know how to do it because that's all they do. They're magic ninja entertainment. So
Oh, yeah.
they know how to put on shows. So they're,
Oh, yeah.
good.
Not to give away any spoilers, is there anything exciting that you can possibly snoop around and hint around on this year, or
I can hint, but it's not a for sure.
okay?
I have a penciled in and I'm waiting December. I'll know for sure if we're gonna have Chris Sarandon and we'll
Okay.
do a whole Fright Night, Child's Play, but it's not for sure yet. I have a lot of different things happening with different things, but no matter what, it's gonna be a good show because
Oh,
people coming at me like crazy, but I wanna make sure that I pick good ones, some new people. I want to start bringing some people in from television shows
oh
that
yeah.
like, vampire shows and a werewolf show, anything like that, because it gives different, we want to bring in younger people, different crowds, I just want to do that. And also possibly like YouTube people, like I was at Monster Palooza, the one in Pasadena earlier this year, and they had Dead Meat,
Oh yeah.
the kill count guys,
Yep.
and their line was so freaking long and everyone was so happy. And I guess the guy that started it is from Michigan, but he lives here in Sherman Oaks. So I'm gonna find him. See if we can bring him out, because it would be fun. It would be something different, something, diverse. Because a lot of people like the same things, but you want different guests,
Oh yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. Let's talk about specific vendors. Like, you have people who are filmmakers that come there and they're selling their movie and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of independent film,
Mhm.
but I mean, I love all horror, but so it's like, with them, are you more choosy or just first come first serve?
It's usually first come first serve because there there's not a ton of people within like driving distance or travel distance that is worth it. But it does get bigger, it I have to cut it off at a certain time. But usually people that love the show automatically sign up right after, and then we keep their table for a few months before we sell, the other ones out if they don't respond and stuff. So Bree is taking care of that because I was a shit vendor captain. So we have some way better vendor captains now. So, but there's still, things that we have to fix. But I like to keep a lot of the same people if possible, especially if they're artists.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, filmmakers and stuff, we met Wendigo Pictures and all of them, and we're actually doing an event with them next Wednesday at a theater, and it's all because of Motor City Nightmares and because of you.
But
And
it's also because you made it happen. It's people can get acquainted and learn something from somewhere, but it's what you do from them is what happens. So thank you for acknowledging me, but a lot of it was you guys taking it and going further with it too. So good job on you too.
well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I know, because I do the same thing. And people are like, I introduced you. I'm like, yeah, but I took it to the next level.
Oh yeah.
So I understand.
All right. So we got about 10 minutes left. For anyone who's wanting to break into the business and especially into the convention life, is there any like words you would give them on how to maybe go about that?
It is something they have to be passionate about for sure, and have some money up front and know they're going to lose it for the first couple of years. So be able to do that and still live regular life is very important. And for me, every year it's a gamble. It's I don't gamble in Vegas, but I gamble with what I do with my shows, with the movies. So it's always a gamble. You can't be for sure. And when you get stuff back, it's not always money. Sometimes it's connections, sometimes it's this. And to be able to keep consistently doing that and being able to wash off the nose and the nasty people, because I have a whole bunch of haters, but I guess you haven't made it till you got a bunch of haters. So, but I do suggest that. And I think in the future, because I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years, is I'm going to do like an online course for live events, like to teach how to do it from cradle to grave, because there is a good process and the things that you need to say, the people to contact for different things, because working with the hotels is hard enough. That is very tough. But thank goodness for the people that do my photo ops, Ken and Myra Daniels. Myra used to do, well, they actually do big horror conventions in Kentucky, but they helped me in the beginning with a lot of my contracts. Okay. So I always pay it forward with people that ask for help, as long as they're good people, because they did, people have done things for me. So I, try to help out the same.
Oh yeah. So just like one or two more questions. With everything that goes on a day-to-day basis, is it sometimes hard and hectic to keep track of everything?
Yeah, and I'm the fucking worst. Because I put on like Dead by Daylight, 7 Days to Die, or I play a lot of video games. And if a new God of War comes out, no way, or Horizon Zero Dawn, that's another favorite of mine. So yeah, it is hard. It is very hard, but I can work 16, 20 hours straight if I have to do it, because I love it so much. But it's not every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is hard to keep a schedule. You have to definitely make sure you do something every day, even if it's the smallest thing, because working for yourself is easy just to sit on the couch, watch some TV, especially after COVID, because you're so used to it.
Very true.
So it is tough, and I have my ways of doing it, but that's why bringing a crew of people in, they keep me honest.
So last question, and then I'll let you plug all your socials.
I am not good at that. You guys help me with that shit.
With the way Nightmares is going, Motor City Nightmares is going, do you see it growing bigger here in Michigan?
That is the number one complaint that I get, is that the venue is too small. I am only going to gamble so much to where I'm not going to put out to a big convention center unless it's really time. And no matter what all the agents say and everything, oh, it's time. I don't feel ready. I feel very comfortable and at home at the Sheraton. And when I go to convention centers and things like that, it doesn't have the same feel. It doesn't have the barbecue feel or that. So, I mean, if it ever got too big, I could possibly do like Grand Rapids does, or Motor City Comic Con twice a year.
Yeah.
I did that before, but it just didn't work out. To go against haunted houses was too tough, because I used to do it twice. So right now I like the size of it, and if it's good, but if it gets too big, I'll reconsider. But even this year that it was so big, it still fit everybody.
Yes.
So yeah. I'm happy. I'm good right now where I'm at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, me personally, I actually like where it is, because like you said, it gives the more family oriented kind of feel. So
yeah, because all the actors are just hanging around drinking. You know what I mean? It's like you have this fun access to people that you are so happy to meet, and they love it because they're actors. They eat it up. That's their favorite thing.
Oh yeah. So actually last year, now that you said that, I think last year was Michael Hughes was there, and I was at the after party, and he came in, and we literally sat there and had like a 25-minute conversation.
See, and like that's what I love, those stories, those things, because you'll remember that the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Things like there's so many things that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, and that I can help other people do that from something I love, like horror. That's freaking cool.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we'll I'll do my best with helping you out with your social medias.
I suck at that. I just do the Facebook. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, because I'm old, it's the Facebook.
For Motor City Nightmares, and for more information, you can look at motorcitynightmares.com. And Tommy Brunswick is on Facebook, but don't bother her. She's always busy. No, I'm just playing.
They can call me. I don't care. My phone number is fucking everywhere. No one calls me.
Now
Am I
everyone's
swearing
gonna call
too
you.
much? I didn't even ask. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, just making sure because I swear like a sailor, but if it's too much, I can stop it.
I know. We're in NC-17. Trust me.
Oh, that's right. As you said, I'm good. Then you can have Nicole on here because she swears like a sailor too. I know you wouldn't think it, but she does.
All right. So is there any words you'd like to say to the fans and just whoever's going to be watching this when it posts?
I just want to say thank you for all the years that they've been coming, and I hope they love the show as much as I do.
All
You
right.
know.
All right, Lisa, you got anything or nope? All right. So with that, we'll say first, I'd like to thank Tommy for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we always send out the invites. If they accept, cool. If not, I understand. You know. But definitely check out MotorCityNightmares.com. Look Tommy up on Facebook, Tommy Brunswick. Also, look up the information for Rocky Mountain Nightmares. And stay tuned for the exciting new year to come. And with everything else, this next season is probably going to be a kick-ass season. See, I cuss too.
You did. Come on, you got to cuss too. Wait a minute. She's got to say something bad.
Lisa, you got to cuss.
Got to cuss.
Well, damn, guys, no pressure, right?
That'll work. That passes. You're good.
That works. All right, with that, I'm going to say, everyone, stay NC-17. Until next time, later.
Right. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Are we good?